Tell me how does it feel? Ian Brown exhales in Waterfall. The Stone Roses 1991 anthem bookends Manchester United matches these days, and the disappointment of a Burnley draw was still enriched by a scintillating salvo. Glory, glory Man United, rang around Old Trafford at full-time. Those Reds who converged on the Huntsman Pub in Turin and hoped for a lock-in would have scarcely believed it could have got any better this season. Red, white and black tricolor flags decorated the raucous haunt well past midnight. They were hanging off the window frames and hollering their new chant as the Carabinieri stood on the opposite side of the road. Jose was at the wheel that night, but the chant belongs to Ole. It was callous of the United fans group to have removed Solskjaer banner from the Stratford End all those years ago, and whether he stays beyond the 2nd May bank holiday, the 2OLEGEND cloth should be pinned to the northwest quadrant. Ed Woodward is justified in reserving judgment on who permanently succeeds Mourinho. If you were to nitpick, United have prevailed through grit rather than guile since the turn of the year, and Tottenham and Leicester could and should have salvaged a point. Leicester away is more of a challenge than Arsenal away. A 3-2-1 at the Emirates is very 2009. Mourinho won by that margin, too. What matters most to Woodward when it comes to the decision is not what the supporters think of the manager, but what the players' opinion is. Dressing room sources have rhapsodized about Solskjaer. Top class with everyone, was one senior player's summary. That misleading amiable streak was dispensed with at Leicester, where Solskjaer displayed his ruthless side through 4 demotions and the omission of Andreas Pereira. His handling of scapegoats is more tactful than Mourinho, and he has kept everyone relevant on side. Antonio Valencia has become irrelevant. Solskjaer might have already ended some United careers, he is lucid to it too. Valencia, 34 in August, concedes these are his final months in Manchester, and the Ecuadorian was not averse to moving away in the winter window. There is still a gap in the pain if he relishes a reunion with Marouane Fellaini in China. Mourinho was gradually presiding over a fullback overhaul through Luke Shaw's resurgence, and the signing of 19-year-old Diogo Dalot. Matteo Darmian hankered for an Italian homecoming last year and may have already booked outbound flights for June. His wife is pregnant with their firstborn, and those personal circumstances may soften United's stance, although they did not receive a remotely acceptable offer in the summer. Rashford has obliterated his Man City comparison. Solskjaer has spoken of his desire for fullbacks to relentlessly advance to the final third, and the new one is essential. Ashley Young, 33, is planning on staying at United for another year, despite having entered the final 5 months on his existing deal. The quandary for United's inaugural head of football is whether to opt for a specialist or a Danilo-type backup. Whereas United previously signed a centre-half to partner Eric Bailly, now they need one to partner Victor Lindelof. Those two, and Chris Smalling, are seemingly safe, although Smalling might be slightly edgy after Solskjaer exposed how worthless contracts are through the sale of Fellaini. Bailly and Lindelof recorded their first clean sheet as a partnership at Leicester. Phil Jones faces an anxious few months as United stall on triggering his extension. Marcos Rojo is dead weight. Axel Tuansby, a bull at right back, could supplement the defensive department upon his return from Aston Villa. Andreas Pereira, like Jones, is waiting for his 1-year extension to be triggered. It is 4.5 years since he debuted at MK Dons and nearly 4 since he committed to United. Amid the mitigation of sensible and senseless La Liga loans, he has 3 league starts to his name in his 23. Brighton and Burnley have overwhelmed him, and a change of scenery might be advisable. United could soon have 4 world-class players, as it would for Scott McTominay, who has not had a look in since his contract extension. A loan is foreseeable. United are still lacking a midfielder to alleviate the burden on Paul Pogba and need to further lower the average age. Nemanja Matic is 30 and Herrera turns that age this year. James Garner, 17, is maturing impressively. Herrera's camp expect him to agree a new contract. Juan Mata is angling for a guaranteed 2 years, but his case has been harmed by United jettisoning Fellaini, rewarded a 2-year deal as his contract ticked towards its expiration date. With Solskjaer eager to nurture Angel Gomes, Tahith Chong and Mason Greenwood, Mata is the penny in the arcade teetering on the edge. United player becomes Solskjaer's new neighbour. Mauta's or Alexis Sanchez's. United were prepared to cut their losses of Henrik Mkhitaryan after 18 months. Possible departures might have to be offset by an elite forward, given how callow the academy trio are. Greenwood has not bypassed reserve level, but Chong has outgrown it and Gomes is not far off. Dean Henderson, another homegrown product, could be bumped up to number 2 if Sergio Romero tires of deputizing for De Gea. The 31-year-old has not spent more than 4 years at a club in his senior career and is midway through his 4th with United. The headstrong Henderson does not appear to be comfortable with a bench berth, unlike some of his academy goalkeeping predecessors. De Gea was named man of the match at Leicester. It would be churlish to even surmise the mood and expectation at United come the campaign's conclusion, when the second 6 weeks of Solskjaer's reign are going to be more challenging and potentially chastening. Still, it is worth considering the 3 reasons United listed for Mourinho's pre-Christmas payoff: a lack of progress in form, reservations over the style of play, a lack of development with the younger players. Solskjaer is passing those 3 remits. Maybe this is the one United have waited for. Possible United squad next season: goalkeepers, David De Gea, Dean Henderson, Lee Grant; defenders, Diogo Dalot, Ashley Young, Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof; new centre-back, Axel Tuansby, Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, Luke